There are days that you plan for weeks, and there are days that just arrive. Let's record. No spreadsheets, no overthinking, just come, let's go to Jinja. We are rafting on the Nile. And that's how the best memories start. So here I was, going by my day, normal day, meetings, work, hustle, grind, phone calls, texts. And for some reason, Leslie was buzzing my phone. I'm like, why is this girl buzzing my phone? And I got like four missed calls. I'm like, where is? She was like, do you want to go to Jinja? Once I had Jinja, I was like, bruh, like, in my mind, I'd cancelled everything. Whatever it is, so when I had Jinja, I was like, just, put me in. And she's like, okay, cool, I'm going to put you in that group. Rafting, I didn't know what we were going to do. When I heard about Jinja, I was like, Jinja is Jinja, You know what's funny is adult friendship changes shape quietly. Not with fights, not with drama. It's just calendar, People are busy, people are doing, life has carried people. And I have known Leslie for quite a long time, since way back in my primary days. When you are younger, spontaneity is the default. You meet because you're bored, you're nearby. Time flies endlessly and responsibility is literally just a rumor. Someone says, let's go, and boom, your Crocs are on sport mode, your shoes are on, and you're ready to go. Then adulthood arrives with receipts. What schedule happens, money becomes something that you start planning for instead of just spending. Energy turns into this finite resource that you need to hold on, like you're going for a long journey. Friends are no longer a short walk away. They are across town, they're in another country, they're in meetings, they're at work, they're in marriages, they are inside survival mode. And I think spontaneous invites don't disappear because people don't care, really. Spontaneous invites disappear because people are tired. And when they actually do happen, they seem a bit suspicious. A random call, no long explanations, no 5-step plan, just an open door. That's rare now. That right there, that's gold. Today, adult friendships run on intentions and not proximity. You don't see each other more often, but when you actually do see each other, now that matters. The conversation goes deeper, faster, less performance and more honesty. You don't waste time proving anything to anyone. Everyone knows how hard life is. That's why saying yes actually matters. Now, have you noticed that every small spontaneous invite is an act of rebellion against your routine, or against the routine, or the status quo, if I may say? A reminder that you are more than your obligations. That friendship doesn't need a committee meeting to exist. Because you guys make friendship seem like you guys overdo it, man. You guys overdo it. Sometimes it just takes another brave person to ask someone else who is brave enough to show up. Now let's be honest. The friends who can still call you without a spreadsheet, without an agenda, without a 5-step plan, those friends are the ones worth keeping. Those moments don't happen anymore, and that is why you should say yes to these moments when they actually surface. I personally I don't regret. And you see, the experience is more interesting and actually engaging when you do not know what you're going to do, or you don't have the run sheet of, okay, we're going to do A, B, C, D. It's just instinct. That's where memories, that's where satisfaction is actually got from. Choosing fun as an adult feels almost illegal. You are expected to explain yourself. What's the purpose? Is it productive? Does it make sense? Fun on its own feels irresponsible, until bills come into the chat. That's why doing something purely because it feels good, feels like an act of rebellion. No side hustles attached, no lessons forced, just joy unqualified. That's you reminding the world and yourself that not everything has to earn its skips. Sometimes fun is a reason. And honestly, that's enough. Anyway, so back to that trip. African time is different. We're supposed to meet at the designated location at 7:15 a.m. in the morning on a Saturday. And I was like, cool. And they were like, if you don't reach there by 7:45, we are leaving. I'm like, okay, cool. So by 7:15, I was at the designated pickup point. The message started flying in the group. Hi guys, where are you guys? We are here. And they're like, we are coming. 7:45 reaches. People are coming, people on the way, we are coming. 7:45, I call Leslie and I'm like, Leslie, where are you guys at? It's like, nah, I'm coming. Are you already there? I'm like, I'm here. What do you guys mean that are you already there? I'm here. She was like, okay, cool. Let me leave the house at 7:45. So we made a few stopovers to wait for people, pick up people here and there. And by 10, we're well off on the way. As we're heading to Jinja, in our minds, we already knew that what we are going to do. Like, we're not in our minds. We were already told what we were going to do, okay? Park rafting on the Nile. And this is an outdoor activity. So, we are getting comfortable, getting to know each other. We introduced ourselves. We're 8 in number and we're only 2 boys. But nonetheless, we enjoyed ourselves. It was all vibes. And shout out to Hannah. Hannah had the vibes, by the way. Hannah had vibes. I'd never seen someone have such vibes, like from beginning to end. Like this babe has energy. And shout out to everyone, because like the vibe was cooking. Everyone was cooking. She has a podcast, by the way, called Young and Branded Podcast on YouTube and any other platform. So go check her out on YouTube. She is really, really amazing. I believe you guys really need to check her out. Just go check her out. I think it's Hannah Arinaitwe. Or you can just go and I'll put it in the description below. Jinja is 2 hours away from Kampala. So if it's raining in Kampala, most definitely it's raining in Jinja as well. Like mentally, the sun is out. The sun is out in Jinja, and we're just going to go and have a good time. It's an outdoor activity, and it was already a vibe. It was a movie already. The clouds showed up uninvited, and no one argued, because it was hot. The month of November was hot all through entering into December. And we expected, of course, that December is a hot month. We entered Maria and we reached Wojos, Namawojolo, for the chicken, of course. What's a ginger trip without Wojos? So when we reached Wojos, it was still cloudy, like it was actually drizzling. Now, there is a calm that comes when you stop to think and stop to manage things that you can't manage. And you just let the sky do its thing and just move on. Less resistance, more acceptance. Like, we just accepted that, even when it's raining, we are going to raft. We just didn't care whether the current is going to be mob or there's going to be, we just let it go. And at that point, we were in the moment, And at a certain point, I just forgot about the world. I just forgot about the troubles. I forgot about, what's coming next, anxiety, curiosity, all that. That moment, that I think the 2 hours that we were on the road, I just felt happy, fulfilled, It was the best experience. But funny enough, that is when the day usually opens up. Guys who have gone on a road trip, you guys, you already know that the road is when it just gets interesting. I didn't expect it to be more interesting than it already was. By interesting, I mean really interesting, because when we hit the Jinja Bridge and we hit the left turn into the venue where we are going to start rafting from, it just began pouring. So we reached and it was hailstorms. I'm like, are we really going to raft? Are we really going to enjoy ourselves, And we gave it an hour. That rain that keeps on, it's like it's going to stop, then it starts again. It's going to stop, starts again. And I'm like, oh my God. It did that for 2 hours. So they were like, man, you guys, you know what? We have come here, we have to deliver. You get it? I think match me up, bro. Guys, come rain, come sun, even if it rains cats and dogs, we are delivering regardless. We are going to the Nile, we are rafting. And you see the beauty with Uganda, and this is why Uganda has been called the Pearl of Africa. I know most of us Ugandans might not comprehend, we might not understand how our weather is interestingly lovable. Because, you know, we have spent most of our lives, most of us have spent most of our lives in Uganda. We have not been necessarily exposed, for lack of a better word. Towards the end of the second hour, it was raining, yes, but the sun was out. Like we could see like there's some bit of light coming out like throughout the clouds, but it's raining. All of a sudden, in like 5 minutes, like the sun was out, scorching. Do you know that sun that comes out just immediately after the rain? You know how sweet that sun is? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I experienced nature at its best. All of a sudden, everything became lively. You know, the photos clapped. And shout out to Park Rafting on the Nile. You guys, you can go and check them out. Park Rafting on the Nile, both on Instagram, on any social media platforms. Park Rafting on the Nile. These guys gave us the best experience of rafting. So when we arrive, there's safety talk, there's a grabbing of your gear, safety equipment, helmets, life jackets. So when the rain stopped, we were so hyped that we didn't go through the normal safety talk or helmets, life jacket thing. Like everyone was doing, like, you know how like the instructor was like, excuse us, come here, and like everyone is just everywhere. We're like toddlers in a kindergarten, you know. We had our safety talk in the van when we are heading towards the Nile. Of course, they gave us these documents to sign, and in case of blah blah blah, you're signing away your life, bro. Like, you know, the things like in case of drowning, the next of kin, and all of that, the paperwork and stuff. So safety talk, the helmet, life jacket thing, how to put it on, what to do, blah blah blah. So when we reached, they offloaded the boat, they pumped them, they were, you know, they were prepped, ABCD. The river looked so calm. I mean, just like the way experienced things do. It looked really, really calm. I mean, this is where the fun starts. The first pedal strokes were quite awkward. Like, two people had ideally said, you know what, they're not entering the water. Like, they are not rafting. They have made up their mind. They are not entering the water. Now, this is where Uncle Siraje comes in. Remember when I told you Uncle Siraje is all about control and command? He's like, guys, you can't reach the shore and you don't hop in. You have to hop in by any means necessary. He made sure that everyone on that trip was on a raft. This experience taught me that in life, there are some things that you don't need to think about. You don't need to think about it twice. Go with instinct. Just jump in. You learn how to swim, pedaling in this circumstance, you know. So we just jumped in. None of us knew how to pedal. It was our first time to actually get a pedal, sit on a raft, and row, and row, and raft. Others were screaming, blood of Jesus! It was just so dramatic, bro. Like, as human beings, we do have trust issues. You know, even when the instructor tells you, row and move, we just had to form a trust between the instructors, between us, that trust in your skills, they trust in your ability, they trust in your instinct. I'm going to capsize, so what do I do? You know, what is the next step? That is a very moment where the trust is formed between the person and the water. So we ideally had to push ourselves into the middle of the Nile. So where we started from, it was flat water rafting. It wasn't white water, it was flat water. Where we started from at the banks, we had to move from the banks into the middle of the Nile. If we were to focus on the banks, there is somewhere at the banks where the water is always circling. When you get water in a in a glass and do this, so like in the river, you just keep on going in circles. And one thing that I noticed that the river Nile doesn't have only one source. So there are very many outlets of water from that river. Of course, the main source of the Nile is where you go and stand and there's a flag, and as the river is flowing north, in between there are also other outlets of like, they're like springs, okay, not springs, but can I say like rivers within rivers, if I may say that. There's where you can move in circles, and those of Hannah and the lot, you guys went to that place where like guys were rafting in circles, you know. There's, I don't know, I think where like the springs clash, or the like the rivers in the river clash, there are always those rapids, and like, so you have to. What's funny about the raft is like, what made it really interesting was there are no seat belts. Once the raft does this, like, you need to find ways of actually balancing, and that was very interesting. Like, that was the best part of this. We gained trust with the water to the extent that guys were even dipping, you know. Guys would fall in the water and swim, and there are those experiences that are hard to narrate until you actually experience it. You know, we talked about a number of topics during our trip, and music and nostalgia was one of them. We're having these conversations about what does music really mean. We listen to these genres, but like, what does it mean to you as a person, to your vibe, you know, your behavior? How does music really shape who you are when you listen to this music? Is it all about listening to it and having a good time? You're in the moment and that is it. You don't really listen to what the music is all about. Is it just the vibe? Or do you really listen to this music and understand what the music really is? We're evenly balanced. Not gender-wise, because we're only two boys. But in terms of relationship-wise, there are others who were in a relationship, others were in a situationship, others were in a single ship. Others, there were many ships, you know, represented in the van. But we had honest conversations about relationships, gender roles, the role of feminism. The fact that we're only two boys, I think that conversation of feminism were quite overpowered, you know. But there is something that I'm going to put for you guys here on the screen. Just listen to this video.
It's called the male flight theory. This is a social pattern whereby if a behavior, role, space, or institution becomes more associated with women, men on average, not universally, tend to withdraw from it. Not because the space is less important, but because femininity is treated with lower status. An example is the education system, where women now outnumber men in classrooms. They complete their degrees at higher rates, and the outcome of that is that education is now being framed as compliance, and men are disengaging. And this status is now relocated to hustle culture, entrepreneurship, trade school, and online influence. There's a time men used to wear laces, wigs, and even heels was seen as a royal symbol status. When women started wearing heels, they left it. When women rise, sometimes masculinity doesn't compete, it just leaves.
I know this is going to rattle many feathers, but I mean, like, she has a point. So in order for a relationship to work, what are the things that are standard? Like, what are those roles? When masculinity is invaded, it doesn't fight back. We look at that as a female trait. What we do is we pull back and find something more valuable for us to engage in. I know this conversation has a bottomless end, but I mean, regardless, that's my opinion. Now, as a youth, you're working, you are trying to hustle here and there, you have side hustles, you're trying to get your foot in the door, and you're trying to make some money. So we came to a conclusion that we as young people, we don't have a lot of money. Okay, we have, on average, a young person might get 1 million shillings a month, give or take. So in this 1 million, what do you do? How do you invest this 1 million? Trust funds. You can invest in a trust fund. You can invest in, because you know, as young people, yes, we do have time. But imagine you're doing a 9 to 5. You don't have time to go to that platform. Actually, now with agriculture, you have to be there. All I can tell you is you just need, you know, where the ground. You just have to be on the ground. Otherwise, Jakaba, you are going to cry in this agriculture thing. You just have to be there. But of course, if you have time, others were saying agriculture, buying an asset was just, buying like a rental, that was just totally out. There were some wild things that we spoke about, but what stood out was you can save up. Once you get like 5 million, go and buy a bond. Go and buy those treasury bills and securities. But before that, you have your 1 million, your what? Save up. Save up like 200k until you reach like 5M, and you can go and invest in bonds, treasury bills, and whatnot. Because as a young person, and that is where patience comes in, you need to be patient, you need to be strategic, you need to be in position to execute. Make sure that you have a goal daily, monthly, weekly, annually. Surprisingly, we as young people don't really put that into consideration. We are still young, we have time, and we do stupid stuff. And I noticed that many of us plan, but we don't execute. Especially those who have gone to school, you have a job, you're chasing a career, you have a podcast, you have a business that you're chasing. You plan, but execution is minimal. Some days don't just change your life. They remind you why it is worth living. A call, a river, good people. That's not a vacation, that's maintenance. Some trips are about distance, but this one right here, this was about presence. We rafted the Nile, we talked about topics and things that people normally talk about when they feel safe. We listened to music that raised us. We talked about relationships that shaped us. We also talked about the money that we are chasing. And we also talked about the peace that we are still learning to keep. We felt wet, tired, and lighter than we arrived, not because life changed necessarily, but because it made sense again for a few hours.
When are we going?
Be talking.
This is the stopover.
You're not